I know AJ in her last video said how difficult butch women have it. And I know in a video of mine, I even mentioned how difficult femme women had it. And I decided, and I think it should start today, that we all go into this knowing that we all have a hard time, that no one has it easier, no one has it better, the grass isn't greener on the other side. Basically, we're all in the same community, all striving to get the same rights and to be looked at the same and to just be treated equally. It really is just about, you know, being true to who you are and realizing that we're all truly in this together. Okay, so that's it. I'll step off my soapbox for now. Hindsight is 20/20, and that saying is so true because I really, looking back, the signs were so there. They were so there, and it's not that I was in denial and I didn't know. I think I just didn't know it was a possibility for me. You know, being a femme girl, I wasn't necessarily around a lot of women that looked like me or a lot of girls that looked like me but had the same feelings as I did about women. You know, all the lesbian women that I ever met, all the gay women I ever met happened to be butch, and I really genuinely didn't know that I could be gay and look like me and want to put on makeup and want to put on heels. I thought that in order to be gay, that was what you looked like. That was how you acted. So I never even thought that, oh my God, this was an option for me. This is what I was. So it took a really long time for me to get there and for me to truly be confident and know I could do both. Let's see, the signs, the glaring I should have known but didn't signs. Well, one of them, and I don't even know if my mom knows this, but maybe she does because moms tend to find these things, but I used to, this is so embarrassing now the way this woman looks, but I used to cut pictures of Kirstie Alley out of magazines at the age of 7 and put them in a shoebox and hide them in the closet. Because I knew other girls my age were not doing that, and I knew it should be hidden. Somehow I just knew this is not something you post up on your walls and you're like, hey, I think Kirstie Alley's pretty sexy. So I used to hide those at 7, and as far as I remember, as back as I remember when I was little, I always, my best friends, who always happened to be girls, I always, head over heels. You know, I was just in awe of them, and they were just the most miraculous things that ever came into my life. And when I was little, it was girl crushes, you know, it was like, oh, she's so great, you know, and no one really picks up on it. And when I was older, I just fell head over heels in love with my best friend when I got into high school, and it was a mess. It was a mess because it was a mess on a lot of parts, but one of the parts is that because I didn't know I was gay, I didn't know what I was feeling was normal, right? Because when you're gay, you know that those feelings and those emotions are good, they're great, that's what you should be having. But I thought I was straight, and here I was incredibly in love, and I didn't know what to do with that. And I just remember being so depressed and coming home whenever my best friend had a boyfriend and just crying into my pillow at night, just not understanding A, why I had these feelings, and B, how she could almost like turn her back on me, but like she wasn't, she was straight. I was just gay and in love with my best friend, and it was just a mess. It was really a mess, and part of me is just so jealous of the girls and the guys and anyone else that knew so early on, because it took me a really long time to kind of clue in. And I was in college when I realized, and I kind of woke up one day and I was like, oh my God, I'm gay. I'm gay. And every moment in time that I ever felt abnormal, and every moment in time I ever thought I was different, and every moment in time I was crying and hysterical and depressed, and every time I ever thought, my God, I don't fit in this planet and on this world, I vanished. It went away, because when I realized that I was gay, I realized that I was normal. That everything I ever felt was normal because I was gay. And that if I was straight and feeling this way about men and going through this over guys, I'd be like every other girl. And when I realized, it was probably the best day of my life, just to know that everything that came before that, every moment in time that you thought you were different, you weren't. You weren't. You were just part of another community. Was I scared? Of course. Was I, freaking out? Of course. But for that moment when I realized, I knew that I was normal. And to know you're normal after everything you've gone through, is an amazing thing. But once everything does come together for you, and you figure out who you are, and you figure out that you're in this for the long haul because this is who you are, and you were born this way, you have to start telling people, right? Like, that's what you just start doing. So